Hello guys, in this video tutorial I will be taking care of a new proximity sensor, that is TMD2772. And to gain more knowledge about this sensor, let's go to controleverything.com, and here we have to search for this particular sensor, and let's see what we else got for this. It says that it's a digital ambient light and proximity sensor, and these are some of its more features as you can see on my screen. You can also purchase the sensor from this very site, from here. Furthermore, I will be interfacing the sensor TMD2772 with an Arduino Nano, and for that I require an Arduino code. And let's go to resource tab, and here comes the Arduino code sample. Now you can download the Arduino code sample as a zip file from this very site, from here, and also you can have the code from github.com, and the repository there is control everything community. Now what do we require is to have a look over the hardware connections we need to set up, and let's proceed. First of all, in the hardware connection setup, we require an Arduino Nano, which you are able to see on my screen. And this here is an I2C Shield. It's available on the website controleverything.com, and the real issue we are using this is to make connections easier for other I2C devices. Now gently place the Arduino Nano over the I2C Shield and make a connection. The next thing we require is our sensor, that is a proximity and ambient light sensor TMD2772. And this here is a connecting cable. Now make the connection of the cable and the sensor, and make sure that the brown wire of the cable should be connected to the ground terminal of the sensor, and for the same reason to the I2C shield. Now we require a mini USB cable just like this, and gently insert it over the power jack. This will help us in powering up our Arduino Nano. So we are done with the connections we require for this setup. Now what we require is to have a look over the code. So let's interface the code with that. For the interfacing part, first of all, we require the code, and to get that code, we have to log into github.com, and here we have to search for the repository, that is control everything community, and let's see what we got here. And this here is our sensor TMD2772, and this is the Arduino code we are looking forward to explore. But before that, let's pursue the instructions. It says that we have to download and install Arduino software on our local machine, and the steps to install are on this link, arduino.cc. Please note down all the relevant information from this site and download and install the Arduino. You can also run the Arduino software on Windows, Mac and Linux. It's upon you. Now as you can see, get back to the code, Arduino code, and it's a .ino extension file. Now notice in the code that we have included var.h library at the starting of the code, and we have defined the address, that is 0x390 for the sensor. Now in the void setup function, we have initialized I2C communication as master and serial communication with a baud rate equal to 9600. Now in the writing section part, we have selected enable register 0x00 or with command register, that is 0x80, and we have the set command for power on, proximity and ALS enabled, which is 0x0f. Then we have the ALS time register, that is 0x01 or with command register 0x80, and we have sent the command for A time, that is 0xff, which will be 2.73 ms. Then we have to select proximity time register having address 0x02 or with command register 0x80, and we have this command to send 0xff for P time, which is 2.73 millisecond. Then we have to select await time register having address 0x03 or with command register 0x80, and we are sending a command that will be 0xff for W time, that is 2.73 ms. Then the last command, we are selecting control register having address 0x0f or with command register 0x80, and it will be the command sending here is 0x20, that is 120 milliampere LED strength. Proximity uses channel 1 diode, 1x P gain, 1x A gain. After that, we are going to read some data back from the sensor, and in the void loop function, we are selecting the data register, that is 0x14 or with command register that is 0x80, and we are requesting and reading 6 bytes of data from this very register, which will be channel 0, channel 1 and proximity data. After that, we are having the conversion of the data takes place, which includes some formulas and some conditions, if conditions, which are clearly described in the data sheet for the sensor TMD2772. At the very end of our code, we have the output data on the serial monitor, which is the ambient light luminance and the proximity of the device. Now the ambient light luminance unit is lux and proximity of the device is there also. Now what do we require is to have a look over the working, and let's see how it responds to the sensor and the code. Now for the working environment part, the first step is here, as you can see on my screen, is to copy the code and then open up the terminal for the Arduino, and here we have to create a new file, as you can see on my screen, and we have to save it, and it's TMD2772, and after that we have to verify and compile the code, and then we have to upload the code. It's successfully uploaded, and after that we have to check for the serial monitor so that we can have the ambient light luminance and the proximity of the device to be displayed on the screen. You can see there is a very little change or no change because there is no interference regarding the intensity of the light falling on the sensor. But when I place some object over the sensor, you can see the change in the proximity along with the ambient light luminance. It's decreasing, but instead when I bring some light source over the sensor, you can see the ambient light luminance and the proximity of the device increases. So this is how the sensor works. Now what do we require is to have a look over the applications and the benefits for the sensor. Let's have it. The TMD2772 family of devices provide digital ambient light sensing, a complete proximity detection system, and digital interface logic in a single 8-pin surface mount module. The TMD2772 enables accurate results and approximates human eye response to light intensity under a variety of lighting conditions. The proximity detection system includes an LED driver and an IR LED, which are factory trimmed to eliminate the need for end-equipment calibration due to component variations. The applications for the TMD2272 includes display backlight control, cell phone touchscreen disable, mechanical switch replacement, medical diagnostics, and a lot more. This sensor is available on the website controleverything.com, and you can purchase it from there. Also, you can have the code from the resource tab, and after that you can download the code as a zip file from that very site. You can have the code from github.com also, and the repository there is Control Everything Community. In the end, I would like to make it clear that for any further clarifications and queries, you can reach us on controleverything.com, and you can post your comments on the community page. For articles and blogs, you can reach us on instructables.com, and if you want to subscribe more video tutorials like this, go to our YouTube channel. I hope you enjoyed this video and had a good fun yourself. Thanks a lot for watching.